Alright, hello again, ladies and genitals.
Time to die! No, it's morbid time.
Welcome on back to the channel. I am your host with the most splash. And this is episode 2, technically 3, of the GigaChad Strength build playthrough. And I apologize for the whispering. The family's sleeping. Gotta keep it nice and mellow. So you might be asking, why is this 2 and 3? Why not 2 and then 3? Well, that's because OBS, the lovely recording software that it is, separates its audio tracks, or you have the option to do so. And I did not set it up correctly to where it would record my microphone on the same track as the gameplay audio. So that's where we're at now. So I'm just going to do a voiceover, kind of talk about what we did in those 2 hours that I recorded, and go on from there. So what you've seen so far is we made our way to the Weeping Peninsula. We grabbed the mace as well as the grace next to the merchant. We grabbed ourselves the golden seed in the map, and now we're going ham on the Grail Dragon and the Dragon Barrow. The reason I'm doing this with specifically the mace is because the mace has the bleed buildup, as some or all of you may know. So this is just footage of me literally wailing on it for a good like 5 minutes. You can imagine how happy I was when finding out that the microphone footage the microphone audio did not record. I was almost tempted to just throw it out as a whole, but I just decided that a voiceover is better than nothing. So I do hope you guys enjoy that. If you want more voiceover type content like this, I'd be more than happy to do so. So just leave a comment. Also leave a like and sub if you enjoy content like this as well. Yeah, we're still wailing at it. You can kind of see I fast forwarded it. But if you kind of see the health bar towards the top left, you can see when we get the bleed proc, it's like 13,000 damage. It's something crazy. And finally, we kill him when you kill him, when of course he starts moving like that. And he gets something like 70 to 80k souls. It's a really good jump. And while I was in Caelid, I decided to stop in and get the Star Scourge heirloom, which is going to give us that +5 strength. And then we went back to Stormhill and got the strength knot. So you'll see here that we're deciding to switch up the Asher Wars as well. We're getting the War Cry, which is going to give us a nice little buff. Went back to the Weeping Peninsula because we're going to do that area first and work our way upwards. And I decided to drop in and get the giant turtle shell. Just give some nice stamina regeneration. Since we don't have the green turtle shell talisman yet, and it's just probably a little bit better overall. So we're working our way now towards the castle, absolutely eviscerating the giant here. I mean, like, it really didn't take more than 3 charged attacks to do so, which is pretty nice. And Baba Booey, first grace out of 3. With that being said, we went ahead and upgraded this bad boy to +5, and I just, because of the fact that I screwed up the audio, I just went straight to the boss. And Misbegotten, this is the second attempt. The first attempt I got too cocky. So he's pretty aggressive. My first 2 playthroughs, I must have just killed him really fast because I didn't really know his moveset all that well, and you can tell because I'll make attacks at silly times, or I'll dodge wrong or something like that. Overall, kind of squishy. I mean, it's early game, and I got stuck on the tombstones here too. I thought that was really funny. Almost detrimental to say the least, but this is without even having the jump attack talisman. I mean, I cannot wait until we upgrade that and move forward. So that is Castlemore done, and I really cut that at an odd time, but this is the MARGIT attempt that we did. We first tried MARGIT actually. I decided that it would just be, I don't know, maybe a good skill check to see where our damage was at, and we did pretty good damage against MARGIT. If you've done this fight, then you know that sometimes he can just like hit you with the wombo combos. I got pretty lucky in the first phase, not having to deal with it. Um, like I said, our damage is really good. I mean, we're doing nice little chunks at a time. And he doesn't actually hit phase 2 until that halfway mark, like a little bit over. But I think I use my physic here for health and the strength buff, so that way I can finish out the second half strong here. And this greatsword is really fun to use. Of course, it's a colossal sword, so it's heavy, and you're gonna have to trade blows sometimes, but it happens. And let's hope that I don't have to do this style of content again, because I feel like I've been talking for 2 hours straight, and it's only been 5.5 minutes. You guys are probably getting tired of it, but that's fine. You came here for the content, right? You're seeing the content, you're hearing the voiceover. You can see Margit's gonna start his little wombo combo. I'm telling you, this fight, my first playthrough was like tough. It was. I've had my experience with Souls games, but like this was a reality check, or a skill check, reality check, whatever you want to call it. I guess there we go. Yeah, first attempt. I guess I put the cutscene in there just to show that we did it first attempt. I thought maybe it would be more believable that way, and you can see how excited I was. It would be cool if you could hear how excited I was, but I messed up the audio in the recording, so that will not happen for episode 3, which we're just going to call this episode 2. So I went back to Castlemore. I wanted to progress Arena's questline, so we went and gave the letter to her papa here, just to make sure that his dialogue's all exhausted out. Castlemore's real funny. Apparently, I just went through it like 3 times, because why not? And we wandered back to see that she's dead, and I was like, I'll spare you the misery. You know, I understand. I'll spare the misery. And I just killed him. I told my friends that I did this, and they just thought I was some kind of monster. But this way, you don't have to worry about the invasion possibly not showing up on Liurnia, and you can get the Shabiri Grape that way. So to continue on the Weeping Peninsula, I think this next part just shows that I hit all 3 churches for the Sacred Tears. So that way we'll be up to +4, which I didn't even use until one of the last catacombs that I did in this video. We also decided to clear out a Mausoleum as well, just because I figured it'd be good to have, come back to it. While you can hit multiple of the scallops, whatever you want to call them, with the Colossal Sword, it still takes a while to kind of wind back up, so this would just be nice to have for later in case you wanted to duplicate any remembrances or anything like that. So next up is maybe I missed one of the churches, but that's fine. Don't need to show all 3, honestly. You'll see that I have 3. Frenzied Flame, this is like the first Frenzied Flame area, and this being my 3rd playthrough, technically, and kind of like stopping to take it in. It's kind of crazy. You can see we're in another cave, another boss fight. Rune Bear sucks. We got him first try, I think, on this run. I have another character that I've started that's just kind of like a pure caster, that it took me a while to get this guy, because he would just do his like leaping attacks, and I just could not get the tell for him down. Yeah, like that. Like I couldn't get the tell for it, but with strength it was easy. GigaChad is just a monster. Like, he's an absolute unit. You don't need any tells. So Morn Tunnel. This is just another side area that we are in. I mean, this boss isn't anything that we haven't already faced. I'm pretty sure we just do dumb damage to him, yeah. Like, I mean, it's not even a competition. Really isn't. And just like that, he's dead. I mean, we took out a bunch of side bosses, gathered a lot of stuff. I'm just doing these to kind of show, like, the area that we're entering in, and then I just skip to the actual boss. I had more to say in the video, but, you know, I'll stop beating a dead horse when I say that I forgot to do the audio. Cemetery Shade, I don't even know what to say about this boss. I mean, it's just very lackluster. I mean, it just teleports everywhere, tries to slice and dice. Doesn't do a very good job at it. That's all I can say. We got a summon that we're not going to use because GigaChad doesn't need summons. The first ever job that we do is going to be in the Weeping Peninsula. It's going to be the Ancient Hero of Zamor. I was not prepared as to how fast this guy was going to be. I don't think I had much trouble with him on GigaChad here, because GigaChad doesn't have problems. GigaChad is, well, in the name, a Chad, and doesn't really need it, you know? So, we staggered him here. This is going to be the one thing with this build I think that's going to save us, is being able to stagger. So next episode we're hopefully going to get the jump talisman or the charge talisman, and that should help moving forward with some of the encounters that we have. We got Radagon Sword Seal, but we already have the Scar Seal, but we have the Sword Seal, is what I mean. First Erdtree avatar, like I said, I mean, I completely whiffed that, I can't believe it, but like I said, really good damage. I got hit by the stop attack once or twice. I think twice. But that was because I tried to charge at the wrong times, and I mean, you know, it's pretty easy to see how it goes from there. I think I stagger him here though. Yeah. Like I said, staggering with this build is going to be what I'm aiming for, because we get some big crit damage out of it. But this guy goes down pretty easy. He'll give us the Opaline Bubble Tier, which we're going to use with our Strength Knot instead of the Crimson Burst. Which, don't get me wrong, Crimson Burst is good, but I like the Opaline Bubble Tier. It allows you to take that one free hit, especially when you're using like a Scar Seal or a Sword Seal. It's a big help. In Palest Catacombs, this one kind of sucks, like the boss at least. It did take me 2 tries because of the, you want to call them gargoyles? I don't know what they're, imps. They're called imps. The imps gave me a hard time the first time around, so that's why you'll see me go straight for them this time instead of the boss. And then from there, I mean, it's pretty simple. I just kind of gotta time my attacks right, because you'll see that we'll trade blows, and that's the thing that if you use Colossal Sword, you have to accept, is that you're gonna trade blows every now and then, if not most of the time, because the recovery, even though they did improve it, it's still, I mean, it's a Colossal Sword, so it's gonna be slower. Critical hit to finish it off there. We'll see that guy a few more times before the run's even done. So I put this in here because Knight's Cavalry, I trapped it in a corner, and then he put me in a corner and bled me to death, which I thought was pretty funny. Unfortunately, you know, didn't get the kill, so whatever. We have the full attempt here. I decided to fight him off the horse. I thought that might have been a better strategy. It did take longer, overall, but Knight's Cavalries aren't too hard. With most enemies that have bleed, it's just about staying or not getting hit enough to where it procs that bleed. But with the Knight's Cavalry, I mean, if you're on your feet and you hit as hard as GigaChad does here, because GigaChad hits the hardest than any other human being, then you'll kill his horse pretty quick, and then you can get the crit while he's laying on the ground, and it's just game over from there. It's pretty easy, pretty nice. The next boss and the final boss of this video, I absolutely despise. I think it's one of the worst enemy types in this game, and I mean, you'll see what it is, and I hope that I can get some people that agree with me, because good God, like, I like fighting Crucible Knights better than I do those guys. So we went and fought the second night boss, which is the Deathbird. Now, the Deathrite birds are worse, but I just think that Deathbird type enemies are my least favorite, which are really, it's just the overall bosses. So we do a ton of damage to the head. That's one of the things about this boss that it's kind of odd, is that we do a ton of damage to the head, but it's really hard to hit the head unless you time it really well with after they swing. which isn't terrible. I mean, you can do it. I'm just not patient. So I try to stick around the legs, hit the body. I mean, it's 400 damage to the head, but we're getting close to 300 to the body, so I'll take it. I think we do get a stagger, though. The stagger was pretty huge. I think we get a good hit on the head, and it staggers it. If I remember correctly. Or maybe it's... I think we get a roll poke. Like, right in the face. If I remember right. Yeah, there it is. I thought that was really funny. That was one of the easiest Deathbird kills I think I've had.